What's up, everybody? This is Ricky, and welcome to another episode of Turn to Your Neighbor, Season 2. We're on Season 2, y'all. I'm excited. For those who don't know, Turn to Your Neighbor is the show that I created where I bring my friends, my homies, people in the community doing great things, come together and just share what they have going on, right? Sometimes we debate, sometimes we get deep, sometimes we might even shed a tear, but guys, it's all love here on this show. And today is a very, very special one. Today is very personal for me. I have someone I worked with this past year. I realized that I was in a point in my life where I didn't really know what I wanted to do career wise. And God placed this lady in my life. She is a career coach. She's here to guide, direct, and put people on paths of purpose. So help me show some love for our special guest for today. With 30 years as a human resource practitioner, Linda has been on the front line of corporate staff reduction of over 800 employees, supporting individuals whose lives are disrupted by layoffs. Her extensive human resources career was the catalyst for becoming a career strategy coach, motivated by helping people make intentional career decisions. As a career coach, she takes a practical application of faith approach, guiding professionals to employ their faith as they navigate life and career. Guys, help me welcome our special guest for today, Miss Linda Johnson. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Ricky, how are you? Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
oh man, thank you. Don't be nervous. I feel nervous coming through the screen. Don't be nervous.
Oh, I
We can't act
thank
like
you.
don't act like this isn't our first Zoom call. All right, we're
No, wow, we've done quite a few Zooms, haven't we?
quite a few. This is no different. But thank you again for
Right.
being on. All right. So I already set you up. I know that you have your business, Employer Faith. Tell us a little about it. What is Employer Faith?
So, employer faith. So, I am a human resources professional turned coach, is how I like to describe it. And so, I spent several years in the field of human resources. And just recently, I want to say about 2 years or so, I became a career coach as a result of a lot of the work that I did as a human resources professional in helping people transition their career. And employer faith was in a way that God guided me to help people, career professionals, as they take their journey or navigate the spaces of their career. And so, Employer Faith is a career coaching business whereby I help career professionals navigate their career with intention. I
Okay,
like to
intention. That's
say,
key right there.
yes, yes, that is key.
All right. So I know we worked together in the past. But when you say you help people transition, what does that mean? Like before in the
Well,
HR profession?
yes. So from an HR profession, so in the transition as an HR professional kind of was twofold. So I helped a lot of folks, work professionals who were looking to kind of like up level their career. They wanted to do something different um, internally. And in terms of career growth, I did a lot of work with employee development, helping employees find new opportunities within the organization. And then the other part of that transition piece was I found myself in a place where my organization was acquired by another organization, and therefore that led to a lot of employees being laid off.
Mm.
And so that kind of became the transition in terms of exiting employees out of the company. And that was a very unique process for me because at that point I felt like God had placed a call on my life to be there and um, kind of be safe passage for these employees to their next step. And I
After they
always
got
had a
fired.
goal that I wanted
After they
after
got
they
fired.
got
Okay,
fired.
I just wanted to make sure.
After they got fired.
All right.
I know, I know. I say the word transition. It's so interesting how you say that too, because some people used to ask me when they would ask me like, "Well, what do you do?" And this is when I was an HR professional. They would say to me, "What do you do?" And kind of an impact, I used to say, "I fire people." And they, it was sort of like kind of gave this little shock value, right? But then it gave me the opportunity to explain how I did it and what that process was like. Because for me, my goal was to always try to ensure that individuals left the organizations with their head held up high, that they were not letting that moment in time and that event in their life define their entire career. And to let them know that more and even better could be yet to come.
Yeah.
And so I felt like God just kind of gave me a unique skill
Mhm.
to be able to do that and to help so many people who were transitioning in that way.
Yeah, that's a
But that
skill.
really became the catalyst of me becoming a career coach. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say that, like the skill that you naturally have, plus the heart that you have. Like I feel like those type of
Oh,
meetings could be like really emotional or like go in any type of direction, but just the heart that you have to not just want to wipe your hands of the person, but really help them. That's amazing.
yeah, because it really did. Like I said, it became a call for me because, what's interesting about my story is that while so many people were being fired, if I would use that word, um, I also received my pink slip too during that process. So while I was sitting down with other people, my manager came in and sat down with me. Um, and that was a very interesting experience. But what happened with me, though, twice, having received that layoff notice myself, um, the organization, my leadership team came back to me and asked me to stay. In other words, they were kind of rescinding my pink slip,
All
and
right.
they did it twice, right? And it
Okay.
happened twice. So that's rare. That rarely happens. And once it happened the second time, I knew that it had nothing to do with what the folks in my organization wanted to happen to me, but it was really what God had designed for my life, because that was kind of rare and unusual. So I had to step back and take a listen to God to see what He was saying to me. And He was really, He was transitioning me in another path and in another direction. And after I kind of stepped back to hear His voice, I understood that.
Wow. Wow. So now you transition into owning your own business, right? Where no one
Yes.
can lay you off or fire you, right? How's that going? How's the
That
switch, the
is,
mindset?
but like, the way you just said that and presented that is just like, that's just like, that's the sweet spot in it all. It's like you really kind of just feel like, for to me, I just feel like it's just me and God. And in a sense, I'm just like owning my own destiny. And it's not like you have this overhead or someone kind of directing your path, which often happen in spaces where when you have a traditional job. So yeah, the business ownership, it's um I I love it. I'll say I love it because one of the things that I enjoy about it the most is that I get to meet people like yourself, right? And most of my clients, if not, I'll say all of my clients, I have this term that I use. Somewhere along the way, we develop a friendship that goes beyond my coaching them, and I started calling them client friends. So you're my client friend.
I like
And when I had right, and it's so interesting. I had a client when I shared that with her. I was like, "You're my client friend." So I shared that with her, and as we were ending our call that evening, she says, "Bye, coach friend." I was like,
that. Oh,
"Friend." Right.
that's amazing.
So that's how we refer to one another. But it just becomes, that journey that we go on together, as I'm trying to help and support and keep them accountable and help them explore their possibilities and their potential and what opportunities there is for them. We develop a friendship,
Yeah,
and it's been really great.
that's awesome. So I know why I personally reached out to you. I'm early. I just turned 31. Lord Jesus. Just turned 31, right?
Wow.
I'm working in a solid career, but I just knew that there was more for me, right? I always had that feeling that something was missing. And when your name or your position and your business came across, I was like, maybe that's what I need, right? Maybe that's what I need to help me. Like, can someone help me? So I know what my mindset was of wanting, more in life and wanting to be more intentional and have more purpose. But is that most of the clientele you work with? Do you work with people like me, or is it a range of people?
So, yeah, it's actually a range of people. So, one, I have clients that are um, newly college graduates, so they're just launching their career for the very first time, and I love those clients because they're like little sponges because they really don't know. All they know is school life. They've
Right,
been going to
they're
school all
hungry,
their
right?
life.
Yeah, yeah,
They're hungry. It's like career, starting a job, a new thing, something totally different from what I've ever done before. Like, oh yeah. So, and it's so much that they don't know. So I love them because they are like sponges and you share so much information. I get to share so much information with them and they're all excited about it. Um, and it gives them a new way of thinking. What I found with that group of folks, um, college students don't often use their internal college resources, career resource office, and some do, and they may get some of the things that they need. But I go in a little bit deeper and a little bit in depth about the do's and the don'ts, and I give them some encouragement that they probably don't get. In a college career office. And so, again, building these relationships, and I keep them accountable because this is something new. It may be a little scary to them. And so, I take the time to kind of hold their hand a little bit through that whole job search process, networking, and things like that. So, it's the college students. Launching their career for the very first time. It's also mid-level career folks who are looking to, I'll say, up level in their career. They feel like they've outgrown the job that they may have started in early stages of their career, and they know that they have the skills and they've developed the skills to do bigger and better.
yeah.
But they're not sure how to get there. They may have spent an extensive part of their career with one company, and they're kind of not really sure about taking that step to now go outside the box, meaning move to another organization, and in terms of growing their career that way. And so I give them, some tips and tricks and give them some confidence in themselves, to do some of the things that they probably would not do without a coach or someone guiding them. And then I also work with individuals who have a dream and a passion, but something's holding them back. As they say, they're stuck. They don't know what to do or how to get to that next level, right? And so I've worked with a couple of clients who, um, through the pandemic, as a result of the pandemic, had lost their job. And so, of course, I was able to relate to them from that perspective. And um, and as a result of that, because now they have this opportunity, now being in a pandemic, locked down at home, don't have a job, they have a dream that now they feel like I want to execute my dream. And so I've helped a couple of my clients start businesses during the pandemic, no less. And that's been a great experience for me. But basically, that was really me walking them through the same process that I took. And with those clients, it was really moments where we resonated with one another because I understood their fears. I got it. I was clear. I have some clients who was like, exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I know what to say, what they're thinking or want to say before they even say it because I lived through it. Having coming from corporate America and been in that space for a long time, and to kind of jump out there and to fulfill this goal of starting a business. So yeah, so those are the three areas. And then most of all, I try my best to um, help my clients do things intentionally. Stop having your career, I'll say, drag you around
Yeah.
in places you don't want to be. And so with all those three groups or those three areas of professionals, I really help them think more intentionally about what it is that they want to do.
Yeah. Taking that leap is scary, especially when you're already
Yeah.
established in the career and just switching it up. What are some of the fears you come across? Like, what are some people have said, like, what holds them back from taking that step?
Yeah, well, I think what holds them back is that they think they can't do it. And they feel like, because it's just so maybe outside of their norm, right? It's outside of their comfort zone. They just feel like it's not something that they can achieve. And what I try to do is bring them back to why they had that vision of doing that something different in the first place, and where did that vision come from. Being a faith-based coach, where I try to use practical applications of faith to kind of pull that out of them and help them understand that that vision is there for a reason. God placed it there. That desire of your heart is there for a reason. God placed it there. And if he placed it there and he before you, who can be against you? And why can't you?
Yeah.
And I really try to share, all those scriptures that, that we talk about, that gives us strength and gives us courage. And I could do all things. Yes,
Mhm.
you can walk out on that. And sometimes, they just need somebody to hold their hand and keep them accountable and to encourage them forward and for them to do it and to try to eliminate some of the fears and the negative mindset.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for holding my hand when I needed it most, and encouraging me. I can honestly say personally, like sometimes you really don't feel like you can do it. You always say, why me? Or, this isn't the right time. Or there are all other people doing things that I felt like you get discouraged. But like, I can honestly say working with you and having someone to hold me accountable and motivate me at the same time has been a blessing. So thank you for that. Seriously.
Oh, no, you're quite welcome. It's been great working with you and helping you just discover. And it wasn't even really the real thing of discovering with you. Like I felt like you knew exactly what it was. It was just, sometimes it's hard to articulate because you think it's so big. Like I felt that way myself. I was like, like really, I'm going from doing this, this something that was so comfortable for me. It was just felt like it was part of who I was going to always be in terms of my career. And now, God, you're telling me you want me to move over here to this. That just it seems great. It's a wonderful thing to do. I'm all for it, but you want me to do it. So I had to kind of go through that. And a lot of my clients is that's where they struggle.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that you were faith-based business and organization. And I know with faith, the word faith and purpose, they always align, right? And I know what career and purpose, that's what I meant to say. The term career and purpose, they should be so aligned. What do you say to someone who is not sure if they're following their purpose, right? If like they're still trying to discover what their purpose is.
Well, to that I would say, like, just kind of keep digging. Like I think we get so caught up in this whole thing about purpose, and it's something that you have to discover. Like, like it's lost and you got to find it. And I don't think that that's the case. I really don't believe that. I think we often already know. What I find with my clients is through, like I said, that transformational process of coaching with the right questions, it's there. You already know what your purpose is. You already know because you already have a vision of it. You've seen it in your mind's eye. It's there. It's somebody taking somebody to bring it to the forefront and then having you believe in it.
Yeah.
It's all it really is. It's a purpose is not something that's lost that you have to find. It's there. And it's all, I think, crafted in your the things that you feel passionate about, the things that you like to do, the things that the skills that God has equipped you with that gets you to really kind of discovering it and walking it out. But sometimes it's not always easy to find it on your own.
Yeah. I've been told, and I like to say this to myself, purpose is a journey, not a destination, right?
That's exactly right. It is a journey. It is a journey, particularly from a career perspective, is that we talk about this thing about your body of work. I think it starts from the very time that, like those folks that I coach who are straight out of college and they start their first job for the job for the very first time. And that job is building skills, is giving them experience. They move to the next job, you add on a different skill and more experience. And so with this whole journey, and somewhere along the way, I think God's going to give you a nudge and say, okay, you're ready for that big thing.
Oh wow, yeah.
And you're going to be feeling like, oh, I can't do this big thing. And God is going to say, but I've been equipping you all along the way. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that one. I know I always went from job to job, saying yes to it, whoever offered me something new, right? Whoever also offered me the next best thing in society, right? But now I'm switching to being intentional in my actions, what I say yes to, my focus, and that's everything I've been through is equipping me for what I'm doing next. So I can definitely
Yeah.
personally relate to that one. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and I don't discourage individuals from going from job to job to job, particularly early in their career, because you're learning so much, you're picking up different skills and abilities through each one of those job experiences. And I do believe that everyone's get to that place just as you did to say, okay, it's time for me to do something with all of that I've been doing.
Yep,
Settle down.
yep. Yes. All right. So jobs, right? I have a lot of friends who are really unhappy in their job position, right? They feel like they just have a 9 to 5. They clock in, they clock out, but they're not really happy. What advice would you give someone who's feeling that way?
Well, I guess first I would say, you know, do something about it. Don't don't suffer in silence thinking that that unhappy feeling is going to go away,
Mhm.
because it's not, and it's there for a reason. And so I would say do something about it, and that do something might be, talk to somebody, get a coach, get a mentor, um, somebody that can help you kind of like walk through it, because sometimes you think you're going to suffer, suffering in silence thinking that feeling is going to go away is not going to go away. So my advice, just do something about it, don't just let it go.
Like doing something can be really scary. Like, how do you get past that? It sounds
Yeah,
good,
I
just
mean,
do something, but
no, 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 you're exactly right. It's always a fear factor. And that's when you know that it's, when you start getting that uncomfortable feeling, it's like, and it gets scary. To me, I believe that's when, sometimes we know ourselves that, God is kind of pulling us to somewhere else. And and it is scary trying to discover what that is. Sometimes we know,
mhm,
but sometimes we feel like it's too big for us to maybe kind of grasp or achieve. So we just kind of shrink back and try to ignore the feeling. But it's I if you don't do anything about it, that feeling is going to just kind of like hold on to you until you do.
yeah. I had that feeling a couple of times. Have you ever had that feeling of like fear before you stepped out on faith?
Oh, absolutely. And I had that uncomfortable feeling for a long time. And not only was it a feeling, it was, I felt like I really truly believed it was God was speaking to me, and I was hearing him very clearly, but I kept saying,
Mm,
no, God, mm-mm. But he wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let it go
yeah, you can't really shake it.
until
Yeah.
yes, exactly. And he didn't let me go until I did something about it. And actually, my first step of doing something about it was to get a coach.
Wow. See? And how'd that work out for you
That
first?
was my first. It worked out really great because I really think it's why I'm here. It was a journey for me, that whole transformational coaching process that my coach had taken me through. It took a little while to help me remove my fears, to kind of put me in a different mindset. And my mindset was a shift from becoming an employee of someone else to becoming a business owner. And so that was huge for me. But she helped me with that. She kept me accountable. Um, she kind of gave me the little swift kick I needed. She helped me believe in myself and to help me understand that I was enough to do what it was that I felt like I wanted to do. So, yeah. So, and what I always remember the advice that she had given me, and I always share this with my own clients, is that, that unhappy, unfulfilled filled feeling, the longer you wait, it will become a weight, meaning you are carrying the weight of that feeling the longer you wait to do something about it.
Wow, that's
Do
real.
something.
I felt the weight this past week personally, so I definitely understand. That was really well said. Really well said. One thing I get a lot because I used to work with high school students, and it's like, Mr. Brown, help me with my resume. Help me with my resume. That's all they need. I just need my resume. What are some of are resumes that important and nowadays? And what are some of the mistakes people make when constructing one?
A resume is still important, and there's some debate about that and how people are using those. But resumes are still very important because it is a kind of a map of who you are, and it tells a story of who you are for whoever's looking at it. Particularly if somebody's looking at it to hire you, you have to give them something, right? Um, and so they are still important, but the game has changed for resumes, right? And depending on where you are in your career, I have some people who may not have done a resume for a very long time. They've been working, they've not needed to have not had did not have the need to update a resume, so therefore their resume may be dated. And so sometimes a hiring manager or recruiter may be able to kind of point that out, that the resume is dated if it has things on it like an objective. If you're early in your career, the objective may be relevant to put on there, but most times you have a career summary and not necessarily an objective. um, when you're doing things like putting your full address, not putting on relevant skills. Some people just want to list every single skill that they have, but all of those skills may not be necessarily be relevant to the job that you're applying for. So you got to make sure your skills are relevant to the job that you're applying for. And the formatting is key, and that's one of the things that a lot of people really they make this mistake because they feel like as they say, you want to look good on paper. So they want a fancy, glitzy, pretty, maybe colors and fancy bullets and that kind of things on their resume. The issue, problem with that is most times when you're applying for a job um, online and submitting your job online, it's not going into somebody's email box and somebody's just printing it, looking it up and printing it off. It's going through this thing that's referred to the applicant tracking system. It's an online machine,
Wow.
and it is filtering your resume. So when you have all these glitzy bullets and colors and lines, the applicant tracking system doesn't like all those things. So a lot of times when I do resume work and I give the client back the resume and it's kind of like stripped down and it doesn't look pretty, they say, oh, it looks too plain. It has to look that way for the purpose of going through the applicant tracking system. Otherwise, the applicant tracking system will throw it out. Now, if you're going to a job fair and you know that you're handing your resume to someone, you can have the prettiest, glitziest resume you want to have in that scenario.
Okay.
So both has their role.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, I remember I gave you mine, and we tore that thing up. But
We tore it up. We
it,
we
but
did.
we also made it come out. I was like, "That's me. That's me right there." Okay, that
Looking good
is
on
me.
paper.
Looking
Looking
good on
looking good on
paper.
paper.
Yeah, I got
But
a
it was all you. It was all you. We
yeah,
did not embellish. It was all you.
just a little resume makeover. That's all. But it was me.
A little resume makeup. Yes.
Thank you. All right. So we're actually going to play a game now. This is a game I'll play with just about everyone who comes on this show. It's called Would You Rather. I love this game. It gets people thinking, and it's kind of fun. So I'm
Will
gonna
I,
ask,
will I have to plead the fifth on
you
any of these
cannot
game
plead
questions?
the fifth. You must answer. An answer must be said, completed, all that fun stuff. But I think you're ready. You can do it.
Okay.
All right. So first question: would you rather work a job that you didn't like at all, but you only had to work once a week and you got paid six figures? Or own your own business, work really, really hard all day, every day, late, um, but you enjoy it and you making 45K a year,
And did you say I would only have to work 1 day a week?
1 day a week.
I'll take the 1 day a week.
Oh, so it's not all about being happy?
I mean, you said 1 day a week.
Right, right. That's the big part right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
My time, the time is more valuable, right?
My time is valuable because if I'm working at 1 day a week, I still have time to do that other thing that I enjoy.
That is very true. That's very true. Good
Hmm.
answer. Good answer.
I could work the business all night long for the next 6 days out of the week. Oh yeah, okay, 1 day a week and six figures too. Okay.
Yeah, that's smart. I think I value time over just about anything. So I hear that. All right. Next question. Would you rather have one, let's say 4 clients a year in your business right now, but each one of them you see succeed, reach their potential, and do amazing things, or have 100 clients a year and only 10% of them succeed?
Hmm. I'd rather have the four.
Mm,
I'd rather have the four and see them do great things. And because I mean, I get so much joy out of that. Like, the fact that I had two clients over the summer who started their business in the 12-week period of time that we worked together. That was, I mean, everybody talk about how bad 2020 was.
mhm.
Not for me. I'm living off of that. That was great. And the fact that I get to now see them on social media kind of doing their thing, it's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll take the four.
Great, great. All right. And this last question, I'm cheating, is not a would you rather question, but just a question from the heart. Just a question from the heart. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Don't be nervous now. Don't be nervous. All right. If you did not have to work again for another day of your life, all finances were paid, you were good, healthy, everything was taken care of, what would you be doing?
um I feel like I still would be doing employer faith coaching and career services.
All right.
I really feel like I still would be doing that, but
You want
because
to move?
I
You want to
love
move to
that.
Aruba and just hang out?
I wouldn't know. Well, see, the thing about that, like I can do that anywhere. If that that's the beauty of having your own business.
There we go. That's very true.
And in most cases, most entrepreneurs they can work from anywhere.
Mhm.
They're not tied down to a specific location. So I can go to Aruba, I can go to Hawaii. I think it's Hawaii,
Yeah, yeah. We'll take a while.
and I can still do this and get those four clients a year and still like lay out on the beach.
There we go. I like
This
it.
is a win-win.
Yeah,
This
hey,
is
look,
good.
I set you up. That was a great question, right? All right,
Yeah.
awesome. All right, well, thanks for coming on, sharing your insight and your spirit. Before I let you go, where can people find you? I know we're gonna have some people like, I'm trying to go down my purpose and my career, right? Where can people find you and even support you right now?
Well, to find out more about me, you can go to my website, which is employerfaith.com.
Okay.
And you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram at Linda Johnson _coach.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm sure check your DMs. Check your DMs soon.
Check my DMs.
Check your
Yes.
DMs. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I know this won't be the last time we talk because I still need your
I
help
hope
from
not.
time to time. All right.
I hope not.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who watched this episode of Turn to Your Neighbor. Listen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. What's wrong with y'all? Subscribe. It's just one click. I'm just one click. All right. Help a brother out and share this all over. All right. People need this. This is good. It's that good stuff, that meat and potatoes. All right. We're trying to help people. All right. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. And until next time, peace, y'all.